Season 2, Race 3 for Lazy Boy Racing League. We're at Monza, Group 3 cars. I'm in the Ferrari 458 Italia GT3. Here we go. Get an excellent launch off the line. Try to go up the inside of Delta here. But we instated a new rule for this race, which is at the 200 meter marker, you may not pass through the first turn until the exit of this chicane. So I backed out, gave him his spot. You can see another Ferrari behind me. That's my new teammate Hobo, who looked like he bumped Delta, but Delta unfortunately got the 1 second penalty. I'm not sure what happens there. If you play GT7 or played Gran Turismo Sport, you are used to the flawed penalty system. But trying to settle in here, and everyone getting fairly spaced out now and giving each other room. I'm getting Hobo kind of on my rear bumper there, but then I'm able to launch back through this next turn, trying to chase down Delta, realizing he has a 1 second penalty to serve. So I know I'll be getting by him shortly here when we get to this penalty zone, unless I do something extremely stupid. Well within his draft, catching up to him, but again, no need to try to make a move on him because we are about to fly by him as he gets ghosted, serving his penalty. Except he didn't really get ghosted, so I don't know what happened. My experience is you get ghosted there, serving the penalty. And I usually don't try to go through people unless I'm irritated with them because they have done something to me earlier in a race, but that was not the case with Delta. I thought I had gotten close enough to clearing him and getting through his ghost, but whatever, didn't work. Hobo is able to take advantage of it and get past me. I had decided a couple days before this race. Here comes Yen in my rearview mirror, right on top of me there. I had decided I was going to do a 2 pit stop strategy, and on racing softs, I had done some testing, and best I could tell from my testing and my rudimentary math skills, I was about even on a 17 lap race. So I decided to go 2 pit, made it a little bit different than what I had done the previous couple of races with my 1 stop. Hobo, on the other hand, went with a 1 stop, and but we're still fairly comparable here, as you'll see later on. But Hobo's got me here so far. Nobody visible in that rear view mirror, maybe 1 pixel, 1.5 pixels as we go through this S section. And I don't know why, but I was not paying attention and cut that last corner. So now I'm sitting on a 1/2 second penalty that I will not be serving until the end of this next lap that's about to start. So end of lap 2, I'm in P4. Pilar and Agent Orange up ahead and well ahead. You can see on that map, good couple seconds at least by now. But I'm under a 150, so a 149.7, not too bad. Pilar's got a fast lap of 149.698, so I'm at least in the ballpark. And then you can see Agent and Pilar right ahead. That very slow chicane groups us up, and sometimes it's kind of an optical illusion because it looks like you're way closer to these cars because you're going so slow, but once we're back up to speed, they're kind of gone. But I'm getting a good run on Hobo, again, my teammate, so not looking to make any sort of a aggressive move. He gets a little bit slidey there. We were also on voice chat during the race, which is super helpful when you have a teammate. I'm just really kind of stay behind him, but I also realize I am catching up to him and having to let off the accelerator. So something I need to pay attention. And then I gave him a little bump. I was a bit apprehensive about tapping him because I didn't want to give either one of us a penalty. Luckily it worked there, a little bump draft, and then I tuck into his slipstream and carefully come through this section, probably a little too slow. But I don't cut that corner, so yay me. It's funny because during practice I had never cut that corner. I had a couple problems with penalties in first and second chicane, but not there. So now I've served my penalty. You could see Hobo kind of take off, and now I've got Yen behind me with his flashing headlights. It's funny because I was in a practice race with him last night. I'm talking about that with the flashing lights. I've moved ahead here to lap 6 because there was not a whole lot of action in the previous couple laps. But I did ask Yen if he was doing the flashing lights on purpose, and turns out no, he's on a controller and just mashing the stick for steering. He is constantly bumping down that, I think it's the L3 button. I haven't used the controller in a long time, so. But yeah, so he keeps triggering the lights, so that was kind of funny. But Yen's got a 1 second penalty he's going to have to serve. I am very well aware of that. Cutting that corner, staying on the curb though, 2 wheels on the curb. Thinking about going up the inside here of Yen, but he's got a very fast car and just not happening, so I back out of it. I get a decent exit here. He did not get a great exit there, and I am well into his slipstream now. I make like I'm going to go to the inside just to see if he was going to defend. He didn't, so I went back into his slipstream. Try to get through here nice and smooth. Again, probably a little slower than I can get through there, but when you got another car, what are you going to do? So he's going to serve his penalty right there. I try to make sure I am completely away from him and not ramming into the back of him like I did with Delta. So now I am right up on Pilar. You can see on the leaderboard, Hobo has fallen back a little. Lap 6 though, I'm up to Pilar, but I'm on my 2-pit strategy. So here we go in super fast motion, getting new tires and filling up enough to get another 6 laps in. And I was running a pretty rich fuel map for these races. I think I was able to do a fuel map 1 almost the entire time. I can't recall for sure now. But we're back in there, fall into position 13 because of the pit stop and an obvious high number of racers going with a different pit strategy, whether that's a 1 pit or pitting on a different lap, a later lap. But Rain, I'm coming up on Rain, who is unfortunately looking at a 5-second penalty. Goes wide. I'm able to go up the inside. He kind of went sideways there. Probably a little contact. Definitely not intentional. Probably not consequential either. So gain 1 position back. Coming up on this next group, we've got Decon and Turbo Timmy. I'm on fresh tires now, and I am running that Power Mix 1. I'm definitely gaining here. I brake, looks like a little bit later than Decon, so we're right up on his bumper now. And knowing I've got fresh tires, whether they're softs or mediums that the other guys are on, I figure I've got a run here, and definitely have a run on him. Make it obvious, go up the inside way early, try to even tuck back into Turbo Timmy's slipstream. I can't quite get there, but that's all right. So P11, we're on lap 7. Get a nice little bump there, a little speed bump I should say, by getting into his slipstream. Easily get by him, no battling there. I didn't quite get over far enough to the left to really get a good line, but make the best of it. Now into P9. And we've got Tavix coming up. And looks like I'm already gaining on him. The other thing I've been doing with this Ferrari most of the time is short shifting. So on that rev meter in the middle of the screen, when that gets to about halfway is typically when I'm shifting, and that seems to help save fuel. I haven't done enough testing to really be able to tell if winding it out, if revving it out is an advantage, a speed advantage. So I've kind of just intuitively gone by it. Tavix goes a little wide and slides around over that curb, saves it, but not going very fast. So I'm easily able to get by him. Now into P8 on lap 8. With this being a 17 lap race, you got to assume anybody on a one pit strategy is going to be going into the pits right now like Agent did, or on lap 9. And at least looks like Pilar, Delta, Do What, and Bite Me McQueen have all stayed out. So we're P8 to start this lap. Lap 9, we're going to fast forward. I'm now in P5 as I've gained positions by people in the pits. Right behind Do What. So we get by Bite Me. Get by Do What. So I've skipped a lap 10 and 11. We're on lap 12, which really I'm just speeding this up because there's not a whole lot of action to see. Although that lap 9 did have some stuff that probably would have been good. Regardless, trying to make these things reasonable enough to sit and watch and not keep fast forwarding. So lap 12, I'm pitting. I'm in P1, but that is not going to last. As you can see, we've got Agent Orange, Pilar, Delta, Yen. Yen actually came in behind me in the pits, but Homoerotic is all out there. So I've got coming back out here in P5 with Pilar leading, Agent Orange in second, Delta in third, and my teammate in his Ferrari, Homoerotic, in P4. And you can see on that track map in the upper right, I am a ways off here with 5 laps, a little less than 5 laps to go. If you're hearing some weird noises in the background, apparently when I generated this replay, I left my headset on capturing sounds. So something to keep in mind for next time. So hard right before that 50-meter board. It looked like another board was in the middle of the track there. Don't remember seeing that while I was racing. So all I can do now is try to put in some fast laps on my fresh tires, burn up my fuel as much as I need to, and see who I can catch. And the first guy on that list is going to be my teammate, Homoerotic, if I can get to him. He is on the single pit strategy, so in theory, I've got fresher tires. I should be faster. I also am probably burning fuel at a higher rate, so between those two things, I should be gaining on him. Unfortunately, in these replays, they do not give you those delta markers, that data on here. So lap 13 ends, we skip ahead to lap 16, and I have gotten by Hobo at this point. And he is still sitting behind me. And if you look at that track map again, you can see where P3 is, and it is pretty far ahead of me. All I can do is put in consistent laps as best I can. So getting over this turn, this is one I struggled with in practice, where I would cut either that first corner or the second. Couldn't always tell because that penalty pops up well after you're through both of them. And I would go back and look at replays and just could not really tell what was going on and where I was missing, or where I was breaking those track limits. And I wonder if sometimes it's your tires coming up, bouncing off of that sausage curb, but who knows? Or maybe I'm just misjudging it. Getting through the S's here as my tires wore, that would get a little sketchy. I was running stock downforce for this race, which is like 430 on the front, 590 on the rear. I probably could have toyed around with bumping up downforce a little bit, but then you're giving up some speed too, so it's always a trade-off. I would consider myself a noob when it comes to tuning and setups and managing tire wear and fuel. So although I'm doing some practice, my main strategy is get into practice races with guys that know what they're doing, and then start to copy what they're doing and see if that works, and if it doesn't, then tweak it. But you could see Delta up ahead there, so I have gained on him a little bit, but at this rate I'm going to need several laps to try to track him down. And I've got some distance now behind me with Hobo. Again, he's on much more worn racing softs than I am, so I should have more grip and being able to use more fuel. So as I come through this right-hander, and I can see up ahead a little movement on the left, and there's Delta coming back. I'm not sure what his incident was, but he was way off the track. I think he had said during the race that he was trying to look in his rearview mirror or wonder where I was, and just lost his braking point or lost his turn-in point. Regardless, it's now a race. I got a good shot here, and I know that he's been managing fuel much more than I am, so that's the plus side. Minus side is my car's not as fast. As we come down this straight, I go way to the left to kind of indicate I'm going to take it. As soon as he starts moving to the left, I go all the way over, dive up the inside, no problem. A little bit of a contact there as we're coming back around, nothing too crazy. But right around here, I see him squarely in my rearview mirror and thought, I have got him. I was fist pumping and celebrating, and then I see that I finished fourth and that he had beat me by 21 hundredths of a second coming up on the right-hand side. I still don't know how he did it, because I thought I had such a momentum. I thought I had a better exit, but he got in my slipstream, and like a dum-dum, I didn't try to defend. I probably should have, and just stayed to that inside and made him go around the outside, but I didn't. So that's how it goes, and that's where this one ends. Man, fun race, exciting race. P4 and P5 for Ferrari, so not too shabby. And if you dig this video, you might dig this one right here.